Venus has been called Earth's twin planet since ancient times. Venus and Earth share similarities in size and distance from the Sun, and they are both made up of rock. It's quite possible that Venus may have had an environment much more similar to Earth than it does now. However, at some point Venus began to drift apart from its companion and ended up as an exceedingly hostile planet. Not only that, but as time passed, Venus also developed very unique and somewhat strange characteristics. In this session, let's take a look at 7 of these odd features that Venus possesses. Venus rotates in a clockwise direction, similar to Uranus. Apart from Venus and Uranus, all other planets in the solar system rotate counterclockwise. In fact, scientists are not sure why Venus rotates clockwise. However, according to past research, it is believed that Venus originally rotated counterclockwise, but its rotation direction changed abruptly due to events such as asteroid collisions. And while it's unclear if this is related, it is worth noting that a Venusian day is approximately 243 Earth days long, which is considered very slow. But what's even more peculiar is that a year on Venus is about 225 days long. This means that a single day on Venus is longer than a year. Venus is certainly an oddity. Venus has another mystery that scientists still do not understand. It is about how Venus became such an intensely hot planet. Venus has an average temperature of about 450 degrees Celsius, hot enough to melt lead, which makes it challenging for human spacecraft to survive there. Contrary to common belief, Mercury is cooler, with an average temperature of around 179 degrees Celsius. This is because Venus's atmosphere is filled with carbon dioxide, creating a strong greenhouse effect. In a few years, when NASA's spacecraft arrives at Venus, we may be able to learn more precisely why Venus has become so hot. Venus is a planet filled with about 1,600 large volcanoes. Until now, scientists have thought that all the volcanoes on Venus were dormant. However, last year, scientists reported finding 37 volcanoes on Venus that may be active. Of course, there is still room for debate, but perhaps there are volcanoes on the surface of Venus that are erupting lava even now. Additionally, on the surface of Venus, there are also huge lava tubes that had dried up a long time ago. Scientists have no idea when these giant tubes were formed or what might exist inside them. It is expected that the Veritas probe, arriving at Venus around 2030, could solve this mystery. Venus's atmosphere contains carbon dioxide and sulfuric acid clouds. Sulfuric acid is a substance with a strong acidity that can dissolve metal. Such a potent substance forms clouds, so dense that they obscure the surface, filling Venus's atmosphere. Also, the atmospheric pressure on Venus is a staggering 95 times that of Earth. This figure is comparable to the pressure you would experience at a depth of 1 kilometer in the ocean. If you were to enter the atmosphere of Venus, you would either melt, suffocate, or be crushed immediately. One of the big differences between Earth and Venus is the presence of water. As you know, water can be considered the source of life on our planet. NASA announced that Venus once had a vast amount of water. However, a strong greenhouse effect started one day, causing all the water that existed on Venus to evaporate. Anyway, if there was water on ancient Venus, could there have been life? If so, there might still be traces of life somewhere on Venus. Of course, such topics are always subject to debate. As the exploration of Venus progresses, we will be able to know the truth about this. Understanding Venus's structure is crucial for comprehending its past and future. Venus has a geologically complex terrain, with a variety of features. Venus's surface features many valleys and ridges that look like they were scratched by something massive. What's more surprising is that evidence of recent changes on Venus's surface has been found. Based on these findings, there's a possibility that Venus's surface is still active even today, suggesting that Venus may not be a dormant planet as previously thought. As mentioned earlier, Venus's atmosphere is highly toxic. However, such an environment might still be relatively hospitable to certain life forms. Last year, scientists discovered a gas called phosphine in Venus's atmosphere. Phosphine gas, which can be produced in large quantities by microorganisms on Earth, was discovered in Venus's atmosphere, sparking significant scientific interest. However, there have been many debates since, with some ongoing, so it's too early to draw a conclusion. This debate may continue until an exploration mission arrives at Venus to investigate firsthand. If life is eventually discovered here in the future, Venus could move from just being an unusual planet to being a world hiding the secret of life.